Hey, Carrie here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting and how to use it to level up in your life. Today, we want to talk about the importance of contrast and how contrast is all around us, the light versus dark, up versus down, hot versus cold. Think about absolutely everything in our lives. There's some type of contrast. And so often when we experience contrast, the negative end of it, the things we don't like, we focus on it and get stuck in that cycle, right? But realizing that often when we are experiencing something we don't like, it actually gives us clarity towards what we do want and do like and what we want more of. So being grateful for the contrast in our lives is so important in clarity and moving forward in happiness and finding that fulfillment and happiness. So it's about not resenting or regretting those bad times or experiences that we have, because you're better as a result of it. And I think about some of the contrast that I've had in my life, the good times, the bad times, and things like that. And really what stands out to me is some of the darker chapters in my life. And I mean, when I think about contrast and how in the moments where I was in those spots, when I focused on the negative and when I was in a dark chapter and I focused on those dark chapters in the negative, I got more of it. Like it just multiplied in my world. And knowing that if I could have just focused on something different, things would have changed a lot quicker. And that's what I'm here. And that's what this channel is all about, in kind of learning from the lessons and the walk that I walked so that you don't have to take as long. And I want to shorten that time that you're in those dark chapters. So I talk about the dark chapters. So one of them, for example, is going through separation and divorce. Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, the uncertainty as a man, what's your future going to look like? What are your friends going to think of you? What are your kids going to think of you? You know, and thinking that you're a failure as a father and as a husband and all of those things. And realizing, yeah, you know what? There's things I could have done better. Absolutely. Like, no question. You got to own that, right? In moving forward. But I wasn't a failure, right? Like you learn. I mean, you know, and all of those different things that it didn't work out exactly how I thought. But when you embrace that darkness and the lessons you learn in that, you become better and you're better for it. And that's what this is all about today. I love the quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, that it's only in the darkness can you see stars, right? Only in the darkness can you see the stars. And how true is that? But the thing is, in those dark chapters, if you want to see the stars, you have to be willing to see the stars. That's the rub here, because in the dark, it's easy to complain about the dark. It's easy to find other people that will complain about being in the dark as well and point fingers and blame and hate. There's so much of that out there. So be cautious of your surroundings and what you're bringing into your world. Because if you want to see the stars, if you're somewhere in your life right now where you're in the darkness, there's stars there, but you got to be willing to look at them. And those moments, and I'll give you a few examples of what that looks like. So, I mean, even health and fitness, right? So those dark chapters where you go to put a pair of pants on and, you haven't put those pants on a while and the pants don't do up, right? That's not a proud moment. And yeah, I'm speaking from experience. This channel's all about learning from the lessons that I learned and you know, to try to shorten that time that you're in those dark chapters. So what do you do in that? Do you focus on, and I mean, these are decisions I made that were bad. It's like, oh, well, I'm already at this point, might as well just keep packing back the cookies and load it on, right? Or do you see the stars and you go, you know what? Okay, thanks for the warning. The pants don't do up, but now I can move forward a little bit. Right? I don't have to keep going on the track that I'm in. I can see this as a little bit of a heads up that I need to make some changes and be better as a result of it, right? And use that momentum, right, in moving forward to be positive and get where you want. Career, right? If you're in a job that you feel that you're not appreciated, right? No one respects you. You hate your job. You go to work every day. You absolutely can't stand it. You got to see the stars in that. There's people in this world that would absolutely love to have that job that you have right now that you complain about every day. And I'll tell you what, if you're in a relationship that you're not happy with, a job you're not happy with, whatever that is, and you leave because you're not happy with it, you take you with you. You're going to complain about the same things. You're going to find the same people do the same things wherever you're at. That's why there's patterns in our lives that show up, right? People that say, I always attract people that do this to me. I always attract people that don't do this. Whatever that is. And the key to this is seeing the stars in the darkness, where you're somewhere you don't want to be. It's up to you to make the change and shift that perception. And then when we move forward, we see the light. We see the stars. That's transformation. That's change. Right? And it's all about perspective. Albert Einstein, man, he had it figured out. I love the quote from him, that there's only two ways to live your life. One, as if nothing is a miracle. And the other is if absolutely everything is a miracle. Paraphrasing there, but how are you living your life? Where's your focus? Are you focused on the dark? Are you focused on the light? What's that all about for you? And what feels better to focus on? Because what you focus on grows. And that's what this is all about. And I'll tell you what, when anybody that knows me, so my friends, if my friends are watching this, hey, cheers, I really appreciate you, right? And if you're not my friend and you're watching this, I still appreciate you, right? Because that's what this is all about. But I want people in my life, and my friends can attest to this, that I want people in my life that are ride or dies. I want people that have been through stuff, right? There's a Franklin D. Roosevelt quote that says, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. And you know what? I want to know that when the chips are down, when things aren't going good, in those dark chapters, I want someone in my world, I want people in my circle that say, you know what? Time to buckle up. I'm going after this. I'm not going to give in. I'm not just going to go jump ship, go find a greener pasture. I'm not going to put in the work. Those aren't the people I want in my life. The people in my life are people that have been through stuff, tough times where they felt like giving up, that the world was against them. And if you're there right now, it won't stay that way if you don't stay there. If you focus on the dark, that is what you will continue to see. So look for the stars. And that's the kind of people I want in my life. That's the people I work with. That's the conversations I have, right? People that say, you know what? I ain't going out like this. That's the people I want to hang out with. Those are the people in my circle. So yeah, so today the message again is all about contrast in our lives, the important. It's all around us, and absolutely everything, no matter what it is that you are not appreciating or that you don't like in your world. If there's something that's really frustrating and you feel stuck on and it just feels like it's overwhelming, appreciate that contrast, because it's giving you clarity, direction, and motivation to move towards what you want. And when you move into that, you don't have to wait till the finish line to feel that emotion, to feel how that is. And you can feel that right now. You can be that person right now. You can make that shift. You don't have to wait. And if you want insight on how to do that, by all means, reach out to me if you have a specific situation. I'd love to have a conversation with you. But it's about shifting and knowing that you don't have to wait. It's about focus. And the focus is your choice on what you focus on. So appreciate the contrasts in your life. Appreciate, be grateful in the good times and look for the stars in the dark times, because that's what it's all about. So if you appreciate the content today, and just the thoughts, I'd love to hear your comments and any insight, and what kind of contrast have you experienced in your life, and what have you overcome and in those dark moments, what do you do to feel better in those dark moments? And if there's something you can share that would help others that are watching this channel, please share it in the comments below. I'd appreciate that, because it's all about us evolving and growing, constantly expanding and becoming the best versions of ourselves. And what are the little tools and tricks along the way that we can use to make that happen? This is one of them. Appreciate the contrast, because contrast you will experience every single day, no question. So who do you want to be in those moments? And then be that person, right? So again, if you enjoyed today, share, like the cliche YouTube, put a thumbs up, like the video, share it, Tell your friends about the channel, follow, like, subscribe, all those things. I really appreciate your support. And if there's a topic that you'd like to touch on or something you want a little more on, by all means, drop it in the comments below or send me a DM. I'd love to hear from you as well. So thank you. I am grateful for you. See you in the next video. As always, peace, love, and positive vibes your way.